Okay, so there is one skill that's behind literally every profound, life-altering transformation you've ever heard of. It's the secret sauce in almost every great spiritual teaching, and I can pretty much guarantee you it is not what you think it is.
So let's just ask the question straight up. What is this one fundamental skill? What's the master key that's supposed to unlock everything?
It is the ability to ignore reality. Yep, you heard me right. We are not talking about meditation. We are not talking about gratitude journaling. This is an active, conscious skill of deliberately choosing to turn your attention away from the so-called facts that your senses are screaming at you.
But to really get a handle on how powerful this is, we first have to see the trap, the one that almost all of us are caught in without even knowing it. I like to call it the reality loop trap.
You see, for most people, life works like this. We are completely mastered by our circumstances. We wake up, we check the bank account, we look at our relationship status, and that external world immediately, and I mean immediately, dictates our internal state. Our reality becomes the boss, and we just react to it.
And this chart just breaks it down perfectly. On the left, you've got the default mode, the common way. Your external reality shapes what you believe on the inside. You are simply the effect of what's happening around you. But now, look at the right. This is the master's way. It's completely flipped. Your internal world, your beliefs, they start to shape the external. You become the cause.
When you let the outside world control your inside world, you are basically just recycling the past. You're taking the consciousness from yesterday, all the results of your old beliefs, and you're using that as the blueprint to build your tomorrow. You're not creating anything new at all. You're just getting the same thing over and over and over again.
So how do we break out of this loop? Well, it takes a fundamental paradigm shift. We have to start seeing the world in a completely different way. We have to understand that reality is just a reflection.
And this right here, this is the absolute key. Reality isn't some fixed, solid thing that exists out there. It's way more like a mirror. It is simply your consciousness made visible. It's not showing you a preview of what's possible for your future. It's a history report of what you have already created with your past way of thinking.
So just think about that. If reality is just a mirror of the past, then all of your current circumstances, your finances, your health, your relationships, everything, it's just old data. That's all it is. It's yesterday's consciousness playing out on today's screen.
And really let that land for a second. If your entire current reality is just old, outdated information, does it really have any actual power over what you choose to create next?
The answer has to be no, right? And that brings us right to the solution. A practice we can call the art of ignoring.
It really boils down to 2 steps, and they're super simple, but they're not always easy. Step 1, you have to actively refuse to let the evidence of your senses dictate what you believe. And step 2, you have to anchor yourself in your desired internal truth, especially when it completely contradicts all that external evidence.
Okay, let's get really practical with this. Look at the left column, the reactive thought. This is when you trust what you see. For money, it's, my bank account is low, therefore I am broke. But look at the right, the creative thought, the one that ignores reality. I am choosing to embody the feeling of abundance right now. Or look at love. You shift from, I am alone, so love is hard to find, to, I am choosing to feel cherished and loved right now. Do you see the pattern? You're consciously reversing the flow. You're no longer letting the effect dictate the cause. Now, let's be super clear. This is not about denial. This isn't toxic positivity or pretending your problems don't exist. You acknowledge the data. You see the number in your bank account. You just refuse to give that old data the creative power to define your now. It's a strategic withdrawal of your focus and your belief.
And this is the ultimate takeaway. When you really get this, you shift from being a reactor to being a creator. This isn't just a mind hack to change your circumstances. It is a fundamental shift into becoming the conscious cause of your entire life.
And you know, this idea is absolutely ancient. It is at the heart of so many deep spiritual traditions. I mean, think about the phrase, judge not by appearances. What is that really? It's a direct instruction to stop giving your power and your authority to the world of effects, to the old data.
This is exactly why ignoring reality is the ultimate spiritual practice. Because every single time you choose your internal vision over your external circumstances, you are strengthening that muscle of being the cause. You are literally developing your consciousness and aligning yourself with your true nature, which is to be a creator.
And you know, a really beautiful thing happens as you practice this. The solid facts of your life, they start to feel, well, less solid, less imposing. You start to see them for what they really are, just temporary shadows, flickering reflections of old energy that hold exactly zero power over you, unless you give it to them.
So let's just end on this. If we truly accept that our current circumstances are just old data, a ghost of the past, then it leaves all of us with one profound and deeply empowering question. What will you create now?